Hello, hello, everyone. Terrific Tuesday to you. I hope that everyone is safe. It is rainy here in Memphis. This is typical Memphis weather, but I hope wherever you are safe and grateful. Thank you so much for joining me on Relationship Rhetoric. As always, I enjoy taking time to personally select the people that I choose to talk to, and even though I choose them by photographs that I see and posts that I see, there are instances where people are posting happy pictures and people are posting outings, and they are not a happy couple. So when I ask them, they are very honest and transparent and letting me know, no, I don't think at this time that we are ready to have conversation and so forth and so on. So it is always so amazing to come in contact with people who are willing to talk and share their stories and share the story of their relationships. Um, Today's guest, I know the young lady. We've crossed paths so many times in life. I know her sister. We've shared some emotional moments. We've shared some laughs together. So to see her in a happy, healthy relationship really did my heart well. And I was really, really happy that she and her mate enjoyed and agreed to speak with me today because it's really interesting when you have an associate. When you meet them, they're single and their vibe is a certain way, but then when you see them and they're actually in a relationship and the vibe is still the same but just on another level. So it's very interesting to hear how that transition went and how her life has changed since being in a relationship now. So I am so excited to hear their love story. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Phoebe and Jimmy. Hi.
Hi.
How are you? How are you? Again, let me say thank you, Mr. Jimmy, for pausing the basketball game. We're going to be quick.
Yeah.
We're going to be effective. We're going to get our point across.
Hey, you got a break sometime.
Okay, so I always like to start out with just the standard question. How did you all meet? Where were you? What was the vibe of the setting where you were?
Would you like?
No. Let you do it.
Actually, we met online,
Okay.
um, and it was funny. I never been online before. I've never been on social media. Never been on Facebook, Instagram, nothing. Um, I was married for 18 years, um, and I got divorced. And so I used to come home a lot uh, from work and just do my regular thing. And my friend, he stays in Florida, called me one evening and say, Jim, I know you out, doing things and stuff. You singing. And I'm like, what do single people do? Because I was married for so long, I really didn't
Mhm,
know. And
mhm.
so he said, you ought to get on this dating site. And I was like, it's dating sites for people who are ugly. So, so I was like, he said, no, Jimmy, dating sites are for people that actually busy and just don't get the chance to go out and mingle and date. I was like, uh, okay. So he gave me this site and took me all night to fill out my profile. And so the next day when I woke up, I had like 50 messages, and I thought I was power. I was like, "Ooh, people like me." So I was excited about it, and then after a while, it got kind of overwhelming.
Mhm.
Cause like I said, I've never been on social media, so I kind of took a break from it. And one time I got on it, and I saw Miss Phoebe, and of course she's attractive, but it's more than that. You see that, and we exchanged numbers after we talked a little bit on it. And when I talked to her, it was just a breath of fresh air. She just seemed down to earth and willing to communicate back and forth. Because a lot of time when you meet women, they leave it up to the man to actually do all the chasing, all the questioning, all everything, and they not really giving it back. So it felt good to talk to somebody that actually was literally talking back with me. And I think I was recently, I mean, real recent out of my divorce, and I started liking her a lot. So I didn't like that.
Understood.
I,
Understood.
I didn't think I was ready for it, and she was just such a sweet person. So I actually put a pause on it, and I didn't just let it go. I actually talked to her about it and told her, um, you know, I just wasn't ready for. a serious relationship, and we kind of just went our separate ways for a while. And faith have it, I am on LinkedIn. That's the only social media I'm on because I wasn't on that website no more. And I saw her on there, and I kind of this story kind of goes back and forth. I think she contacted me, but she said it was me contacted her.
So let me tell this part. So what happened was that, you know how sometimes you have a little bit, you kind of side eye people when things kind of part, and although he was honest, it's like it's more to the story than that. So I saw, how you can tell when someone looks on your LinkedIn page.
Mm-hmm.
And so I noticed that he had looked several times within a month's span.
Hey, I disagree.
Anyway, so I'm thinking to myself, well, instead of you looking at my LinkedIn, why don't you just reach out? So he
Right.
didn't, and he looked again. So I said, you know what? I'm just going. Well, actually, one of my coworkers was saying to me, "Gonna see why he keep looking at your page. Just go find out what's going on." So I reached out and said, "Hey, how you doing?" And so then the exchange of communication started back from there. But yeah, he the one kept looking at my LinkedIn page.
I don't think that's the right one. I think I like my story better.
Yeah.
She reached out
How
to me.
did you
Yeah. But after that, it was around her birthday time, and I think her and her daughter went out of town for a concert, or have you, and I think she was graduating too around that time, and I missed it. And so I asked her why. I told her I would like to cook her dinner to, tell her, for her gift because I wasn't there, and it started from there. And when I saw her again, I told her I was gonna do better, and here we are.
Wow. Okay. Okay. So Phoebe, and this is a question that I've always wanted to ask, and people have asked me this as well. So what made you decide to go on a online dating site?
It was, dating has always been tricky for me because my personality. What you see is what you get.
Right.
And a lot of times when I meet guys, either they seem like, and I hate to say this because I'm very grounded. So it seems like they're intimidated by my personality.
Yeah.
They don't take the time to really get to know me. They just make an assumption about the way that I look, the way I carry myself. And I'm going, I'm not superficial by any means. Just because I look like this or I speak this way doesn't mean that I think that I'm above anyone. So I found it difficult to find quality men in that situation. So one day I said, you know what? I'm just going to see how this online dating comes. And maybe I run across someone nice, someone, you know what I'm saying, that I can communicate with and enjoy spending time with. I'm not looking for, if it goes into a relationship and it go like ours has, go into a relationship and marriage happens, that's fine, but I'm not going there with that intent seeking that.
Okay.
And so that's why I decided to get, on try the online dating thing.
Okay. So when he began to reach out and you all began to talk, did you automatically feel safe and automatically feel like, oh, this is a good guy? Or were you just trying to fish through to see?
If you're online dating long enough, you
You'll know.
kind of learn some tricks because there are some weirdos. There are some really, you can just kind of, if you pay attention to what they say.
Okay.
And how they approach you about certain situations. We talked a while online before we actually went out on a date.
Oh, okay.
And I think that's the misconception of online dating. I hear that a lot. A lot of people don't like doing it because of, they say it's dangerous and this and that. Dating period is dangerous.
That is true.
You can meet somebody at the mall and they can present themselves as somebody else there. So,
Mhm.
because eventually, one thing I do like about online, at least you have the choice to talk first. Most of the time, when you meet people in public, you just meeting from sight unseen, pretty much just how they look.
Right.
And so the same thing can happen from meeting people at the mall as the same as online. Don't get me wrong, there's some weirdos online. Women too.
I was
And but I don't think it's any difference. Dating is a thing you have to be real careful regardless how you do it. Make sure you if you do go somewhere with someone, let somebody know where you're going. I've actually had somebody ask me, Could they see my ID? And it didn't bother me if you actually uh safe as they think you are, that shouldn't be a problem.
Right.
So you just have to be careful regardless how you date. So I know online dating got a bad perception that it can be dangerous, and it can. You heard the stories, but dating period can be dangerous because how many times a woman has met a man just out in public and 2 months later she found out he's crazy as a pussy.
Hmm.
So
You're right. You are very right. But I've also heard amazing success stories about online dating because people are able to take their time, such as you guys, and continue to talk and actually see how they really think. So very nice, very nice. So Phoebe, when you first saw him,
Mhm.
what was the first physical attribute that made you go, "Oh, okay, okay"?
Well, he's attracted to me anyway, but I'm
Mhm.
a big person about eyes. And I know you can't tell from the camera, but against his skin, his eyes are like a chestnut brown. So they're light, they're kind of light, and
Mhm.
it's just so sexy to me.
Yes, I can
Yeah.
tell when you describe it.
yeah,
Stop
and
it.
I'm
Stop
sexy
it.
period. So
Don't do that.
There you go, Mr. Jimmy. Yes, yes.
Yeah, so yeah,
mhm.
that I love his eyes. I love
Nice.
looking into his eyes.
Yes.
I have to catch him because I don't think it makes him uncomfortable, but I love looking into his
Yeah,
eyes.
I like when you look at me. So,
Mr. Jimmy, same question. When you saw Phoebe,
I mean, she was just when I first saw her online, I just say she just so beautiful. I was like, what's wrong with her?
mhm,
I say something had to be wrong with her, but her smile is what gets me. Um, but I've never been superficial with looks and things. Of course, I like to be attracted to who I'm with, but her personality outweighs all of that. What really hooked me, her personality. I
right,
mean, it doesn't matter if we at a 5-star restaurant or we're in a hole in the wall. We enjoy ourselves because we're with each other, and I like that type of person. So
nice, nice. What was your first date? When you actually went out together?
Bahama Breeze.
Nice.
Yep,
Okay.
Bahama
Okay.
Breeze. Yep.
Okay. Were you nervous?
Who, me?
Yes.
I'm never nervous.
Phoebe, were you nervous?
I was. I was. I he was it was the first time I did the online dating and met someone. We met there,
Okay.
safety.
Mhm.
Um yeah, I was nervous.
Okay. So
Well,
at
I
what
can't say I wasn't nervous. I wasn't nervous in the beginning, but once I saw her, I was nervous
That's the
uh-huh.
first thing hearing
because
that.
she was as beautiful as I thought. You talk a lot of times you see people online, and when you meet them,
Look at your face.
I'm sorry.
Oh goodness.
And I've actually had a situation that I met somebody online, and when she came up to me, I didn't recognize her. Yeah,
Really?
yeah. So I bought. I got my dinner to go. So, true story.
Okay. Okay. So at what point, Phoebe, during the night, did your nerves calm down and you were like, I really do like this guy?
Probably when we started talking, we were having dinner, of course, but we were having really um an intellectual conversation. A really, not usually people keep things on the surface on their
Mhm,
first date and they keep it
mhm.
really light. But we actually were having a very intellectual conversation about things. And so that's my alley. And I was like, okay,
Okay.
so yeah, that was probably when
Mhm.
and then I
Okay.
was kind of like hooked ever since. So when he kind of slid me to the side later, I was like, really?
Hey, good things come to those who wait.
Okay. All right. Mr. Jimmy, I know that Phoebe is a spiritual person, and so when those conversations came up, how would you describe yourself, spiritual or religious?
I'm more religious.
Okay. Okay. So how did
Um,
that go over?
I mean, I'm the type of who am I to not respect what you think religion or spiritual or whatever who you pray to should be. Um, because I mean everybody has, especially in this time, everybody has a different opinion on how to pray to whoever. Um, but no, we had that conversation. Um, I grew up Baptist. Um, I was in church a lot when I was younger. Um, and it would just so happen once I met Phoebe, I was at a crossroad. Not as in church as much as I can. I'm still have my beliefs, but it's a couple of things that happened in the church that actually kind of like, I mean, kind of waved me away and made me think
Mm-hmm.
about
Mm-hmm.
how people are really thinking and feeling in church,
Mm-hmm.
or is it
Mm-hmm.
just commercial?
Mm.
So we I mean we talked about it. It took us a minute to talk about it more, but I have no problem with it because we still have a lot of the same beliefs. It's just different ways how we go by it.
Okay. Very nice. Very nice. So, Phoebe, how would you describe the path your life was on before you met Jimmy?
Um, although I feel like I had gotten to a place of just letting things be,
Mm-hmm.
I also at that time in my life was planting seeds. Um, I was doing a lot of inner work on self, a lot of retrospect, figuring out who I am, what I have to offer, not just to a relationship, but what I have to offer to the world, what I have to offer, period. And just understanding who I am and how I interact with certain situations, certain within my faith, within the work that I do, within my relationships with my girlfriends, who I am and how I present myself. Am I being authentic to who I am? And I think that because I was on that path and I was planting seeds for the time that I'm starting to have now in my life, I could say I've been in a place of peace in a lot of things.
Very nice.
And I just feel that because I have done a lot of repair work for myself, that when we did get back together this time, because when we met initially, I really wasn't on that path. It was probably a
Hmm.
little bit after him and I, stopped dating that I started to do the work that I needed. So I feel like all of the things that I was doing for myself was in preparation for the time I'm having now, including my relationship with him. Because I don't think that we would be where we are if I had not done my work.
Okay. So the little break was divine, I guess, huh?
Yes, definitely.
That's why I did it. That's why I did. I knew it.
You
Whatever.
all right. So Jimmy, you said that you were freshly divorced and just being busy. I mean, where was your mind was not even interested in dating at the time when you decided to go on the online page?
I was in a bad place. Um, my last marriage. Well, we was together about 20 years. We have two kids together. Of course, they're grown. Um, I put a lot into the relationship that I thought, and for the way it just ended, I was bitter. Uh, I had a list in my head that what I'm not going to deal with anymore. Uh, and I'm not gonna lie, I dated a little bit, and I was terrible because I wasn't open. I wasn't. You could do one thing and I cancel it. I'm over. You know. And I when I met Phoebe, I was still in that kind of framework, but she kind of calmed me down, and I wasn't ready to calm down. You
Mm.
know, I wasn't ready to be open and release myself, and but she was just too good. She fit me perfect, and I ain't like it,
Mhm. Mhm.
and 'cause I don't think I was ready. And so I had to take that break for myself because if I was continue to do what we were doing, it wouldn't have ended well. Because
Mhm.
my past few relationships before that, they didn't end it well, and it wasn't all them. And
Mhm.
so So I really got scared when I saw the things I liked in her, but I wasn't ready to give it all. So when I did see her again, I worked on myself a whole lot because one thing I always say, I can't change other people, but I can change myself. So
Yeah.
I had to start thinking about things I was doing wrong and things I need to do. And so I started working on myself. And so I was in a better place. And so when I came back to her, it was no problem. I was ready.
That is so interesting that y'all were on the same path, just separately,
Hmm.
and then end up back together. Now that is very interesting. That's very interesting. Have you ever talked about that? The fact that y'all went through the same process?
Kind of, sort of, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's another thing I like about Phoebe. I don't have to hide my past. She know my past. I talk about it. Matter of fact, if I don't tell her, my family tells her. So
I'll tell
I
everything.
I might as well tell her because they gonna tell her, and my mom tell her everything. So um, and when we go to visit my mom, Jimmy ex-girlfriend stay across the street.
Yeah.
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 Hmm.
So
But that
so
means mama like her. That's what
yeah.
that means.
I should give her a drink or so, and that here we go. So so that's the thing about it, because I don't know if anybody's ever experienced. You've been in a relationship, you like the person, but it feel like you walking on eggshells sometimes. Like, hope I don't say the wrong thing. Hope some of my friends don't say the wrong thing. We don't have that problem because we know what each other's hearts is. And I've told her a lot of things about me, and some good, some not so good. But I think us being transparent is actually help our relationship.
Absolutely. Oh, that's so nice, y'all. So, what is your all's favorite thing to do together?
We love to go out to eat.
Yep.
Yeah, that's one of our favorite things. Before the pandemic, we like movies.
Okay.
But our number one thing I think we like to do is to get in the bonus room with the television and pick a movie. She likes me to pick the movie most of the time. Uh, a African movie, or
Yeah, we love the
yeah,
Nigerian
the
movies. That's
Nigerian
just
type
been
of
our thing.
movies and stuff like that. And that's our time we usually do on Fridays. We'll get something to eat, order in, and just sit around and just enjoy the evening.
Nice.
So I
Okay.
think that's our favorite thing to do.
Okay.
I just
Okay.
love being with him. So,
Mhm.
Y'all killing
it's
me.
it's it's rare that you can say the person that you're in love with is also your best friend.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
like, I can with him, I can be I can unravel. If I have to unravel, I don't always have to present myself as Miss Perfect and I got everything together. If I need to unravel, he's gonna be right there and he's gonna pick me up. You know what I'm saying? And he's gonna be there to support me. And it's just being able to be all levels of intimacy with a person is just amazing. I didn't even know what that would feel like until I got with him.
Wow. So, how long have you all been dating?
Almost 3 years. It's 3 years.
It's 3 years in
3 years.
March. Mhm.
3 years. Okay. And this is 3 years after the break. This is when you came. Okay. Nice. Okay. Okay. So can you remember your last disagreement?
Have we?
We talked about that the other day. We've never had a disagreement or an argument.
Really?
No. And I don't know if that's good or bad, but we talked about it the other day, and I'm a very mild mannered person already. I don't like drama, and she's the same. Uh, when I do get upset about something, it takes me a while I kind of shut down for a minute. It takes me a while, but I've never been upset with her.
Okay.
And Phoebe, it's hard to get upset with Phoebe. I mean, because that's what I like about her. Her heart is always in the right place. And even if it doesn't come out right, she's always trying to help someone or make sure somebody's okay. And I'm kind of the opposite. I'm a little harder. So our personality kind of matches. Uh, cause a lot of times I was like, I don't want her to be taken advantage of, so I take up for her. And
Mhm.
sometimes she softens me up a little bit, especially with my kids and my grandbaby and all that. So we kind of work kind of hand in hand because I'm a little more nail and she's a little more cotton.
Okay.
So
Okay. That's very sweet. So, have you all set goals for the relationship?
well, the major goal is marriage. We have said that, but we talk about um, where we want to be, what type, what we want to stay in Memphis. The number one thing now we talk about is her last two kids that are home, making sure uh, they're on the straight and narrow what they want to do with their lives because they're both there now. They're at that age now. They need to start figuring out what they want to do. And the number one thing we want to do is just nothing, just be ourselves and just
Yeah.
Enjoy each
yeah,
other.
just go.
Enjoy each other and
Hmm.
travel and
Hmm.
get them out the house, get them
Yeah.
together, make sure they're good so we can just focus on the things that we enjoy doing, like we really want to be able, once this pandemic is over and once we get married, to start traveling and
Hmm.
because we both want to do that. He's done more traveling than I have.
Yeah, I've traveled a lot, and she still haven't been on a plane yet, so
No,
that's our
I
number one
haven't.
goal.
Really, Phoebe?
So I can't wait to do a
Oh,
fly to
that's gonna be
Bahamas or Miami.
exciting.
Yeah, yeah.
That's gonna be
And it seemed
exciting.
like when we talked about getting ready to do it, the pandemic hit. So
Oh, wow.
mhm,
Okay. So, Jimmy, you have children. I know Phoebe, you have children.
mhm.
Correct. Did they blend well? Did they get along well? How did that introduction go?
Um, my son is 22. He's in Washington State actually. He's in the Navy.
Okay.
Um, but they've met. My kid and her kids are the same. They kind of, these young group. They like don't care. They be like,
Bryson said they really
hey,
don't
like,
care.
I mean, they really don't care. My daughter's here. She's here in town, so she's here often with my grandbaby. I have a grandbaby, and she's 20. Well, she'll be 27 this year, so they blend well. But do they hang out and this and that? They everybody's just doing their own thing, and they grown. So
And they barely hang out with us.
and
So
yeah, and I remember somebody asked me when we started dating. They say, "So Jimmy, her kids like you?" I said, "I don't care." But I mean, I don't say it in a mean way. I mean, they at an age, you know, they don't want to say nothing about their relationships.
That's true.
So,
That's
and
true.
and I didn't want to be that fake person who try to make them like me and this and that. I just be myself.
and the thing is that with him just being who he is, they love him. Especially my youngest son. My youngest son, he won't necessarily say it to him, but he'll say things to me about Jimmy, that he admires, and how he looks up to him. And he actually does look to him for direction because Makai is 19. So he
Yeah.
actually does listen to him and look up to him for direction on things because his dad is not present. So
Okay.
that to me is a big deal because I didn't try to make that happen. I just allowed their relationships to develop organically. You
Nice.
know, I didn't want to force anyone. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I don't want any fighting. I don't want any arguing. I don't want any disagreement. I always want there to be respect there. But because of who he is, I knew that would happen. So I didn't have to really worry about that.
Yeah, and we've had our talk, man talk, uh, and without Phoebe, I mean, I say you consider yourself a man now, so let's have a man talk, and it goes well. I mean, it's just like any relationship. As long as you respect me, I respect him, and it works well. I have nothing negative to say about the kids, and a lot of people worry about that when you go into a relationship like this, especially when the kids at a certain age, like
Right.
pretty much that's not my daddy kind of type.
Right. Right.
It could get real if you come in too strong. It can go left. If you come in too soft, it can go left.
That's right.
And I really never thought about how I would come into it. I say I'm just gonna be me, and it kind of worked out.
Nice. Nice. Okay. So next to the last question. Phoebe, what does Jimmy do to make you feel loved?
Oh, there's so much. There is so much. I'm not a person that's really big on materialistic things. Now, I am a person that gives big things.
Mhm.
But I don't necessarily have to receive those big things. So something as simple as the other day when I came home from work, he had stopped and gotten some Chinese food from my favorite place to eat. He just brought it for me, just what I would eat. It's things like that to me that means so much. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It's like even he can do a big thing like this ring here, honey. This ring. I
Yes,
was
ma'am.
I was just like my mouth just dropped. I have to show you that video of when we got engaged. And I was just like in awe. So he can give those big things. And I love that too, but it's the just knowing who I am, what I like, what I'm interested in. He pays attention to those things. And that's like really big for me.
So before I ask you, Jimmy, talk to me, Phoebe, because I know I have rarely ever seen you show emotion. Talk to me about how you felt when he proposed.
I was all in my head. Like it was like I'll put it to you this. It was like an out of body experience for me. Like, am I here? Is this really happening? We've had the conversation about getting married, and my attitude has been, when it happened, it's gonna happen. And so when it happened, I really wasn't expecting it. I really had no clue. Nobody believes me, but I really had no clue that it was happening at that time. And it was just like I was just outside of myself looking at this happening to me, and I'm like, wow, because this man loves me enough that he wants me to be his wife. And I love him so much, I don't even have the words to express it. It was just one of the most beautiful moments I ever had in my life.
Man. So Jimmy, walk me through when did you know I'm going to propose to her? I want her to be my wife. What was going on?
Uh, it hit me one day. We was already planning a trip to go to Gatlinburg. Well, I wanted to take her to New Orleans, but because she's never really been to New Orleans. She's been, but not been. And that's from the area. I'm down from that area. And I just wanted to take her there and have a good time. But pandemic kind of hit then, and I really didn't want to be around a lot of people. So I thought the cabins in Gatlinburg would be awesome to kind of just get away and have a good time. And so I was sitting just watching TV one day, and it just hit me. It just came up. I said, this would be perfect for me to propose. Because in my mind, I said, I'm going to marry her. I already told myself I'm going to marry her. All my friends know I'm going to marry her. Why not do it then? So I said, I don't know why I didn't do it. I ain't got a ring. So I had to find a ring. So I talked to her daughter and both her daughters, and her older daughter. I just knew she was going to tell her. I just knew she was going to tell her. And so I asked her, ring size, and I kind of knew what type of ring she liked because we kind of looked at rings before. So I just put the full court press on because I think it was like a month away before the trip. So I had to hurry up to try to get the ring. So I just went all ham and tried to plan a great weekend for us. And but me marrying her, I always knew I was gonna marry her. Actually, after I first met her, I said, yes, she's the marrying type.
Mm.
Now you know how men procrastinate. I know we together, we stay together, we doing our thing. I say, Jimmy, you got to step because she deserves it. She deserves a special day like that. So, and I deserve to have her. I really do deserve her. And so I say, let me go ahead and just do it. And that's the thing about what most men mess up because we just say we're gonna do it, but we just never put the effort in. But once I started looking at rings and I got excited, I said, oh, she gonna love this. So now that's when I was nervous. I
Ah,
was nervous that whole day. I was because I hope it won't goes right and hope she's surprised and hope somebody don't slip up and tell her. So, but that was a good day. That was a good day.
very nice. Very, very nice. So what does she do, Jimmy, that makes you feel loved?
Well, Phoebe Phoebe. She just has that personality. say if I come home and I just had a bad day, I kind of hide stuff. I don't really like to talk about if I had a bad day, this and that. I just deal with it the way I deal with it. That's how I was raised. A man don't show a whole lot of emotion. He handles it and move on. And so even when I'm in that point, she can just come. It's like say something to me or kiss me on the jaw and say, "Did you have a great day?" And I feel better. And she don't even know that I needed that,
Mm,
but I did because a lot of men, especially like me, don't like to ask for sympathy or say that you can't handle whatever's just came across. Uh, and so when you have somebody that you know, all you have to do is say, and she's gonna make sure whatever she can do, she's gonna make it better. And sometimes she don't even know she's making it better, just being herself. So I really appreciate that.
absolutely. Oh, I love y'all. So I always leave my deepest question for the end. So, Phoebe, if you could choose a color to describe Jimmy, what would it be and why?
Golden. It would be
Mm,
golden. Because he's that to me. He's golden. Like he's like a rare coin. That you just got to keep. You know, you'll never it there. There's nothing in the world that would be worth you giving that coin away.
mm.
And that's just yeah, that would be the color for him.
I like that color.
Same question, Jimmy. Same question. What color?
When you say color, I think of yellow, closer to what she says gold, because she's like a ray of sunshine. Sunshine. When she walks in the room, it just lights up. I mean, if you have an issue with Phoebe, you have a problem.
Mm,
Uh, she is not that person at all. If you don't like her, you really have an issue with yourself.
Oh, there's a
mm.
lot of people that don't like me.
And,
So
and I'm not going to get all in depth of what issues you can have. It could be jealousy, selfishness, or what have you. But if you don't love her or like her when you've been around her, something wrong with you.
Wow. Wow. Well, let me say, I love y'all. Your the transparency that you all have and how aligned your stories are to get you to the point where you are, it reaffirms patience. It reaffirms the need for people to be willing to self-reflect. So I applaud you and I am so excited for what the future holds for you guys. Phoebe, I really am happy for you. Mr.
thank
Jim,
You
you.
didn't ask the other question. You didn't ask the other question
Oh,
what
he
was the
been
other
waiting to
one?
answer it. What is it?
about when did we know we loved each other.
Oh, go ahead. Because you want to tell us. I want to know. I thought
And we talked about this.
the question at the bottom. I don't know if y'all want me to ask that one.
Oh, yeah. It was this is when I she already know, I've already told. But her uncle passed and she's very close with her uncle. And this was fresh for us, just started dating and what have you. And she called me and I can tell by her voice that, something bad has happened. So I left work and asked where she was, and we went to the house. And we at the house, and and the body was still there and everything. So it's a very sad point. So uh the whole week she was just sad, and I just try to be there for her. And then we had the funeral. We went back to the house and had the repast or what have you. And I don't know a lot of the people there because I'm kind of fresh in the family. And so I'm sitting in the room and let them talk. And I kind of went to the other room and just sat down and everything. And she came and checked on me and asked me, was I okay? And did I need anything? And for her to come check on me when she was in the situation where she was, mourning her uncle, and I know how close they were, I said, yeah, she's it. That's when I knew right then that she always was checking on me, even when she was having her bad time.
Mm,
So that's when I knew.
mm. Whew. Phoebe,
huh?
does he want to put it out there? You want to share?
So
And
I sent my love through a text message because I was so embarrassed.
I was in the other room. I'm talking about the next room.
Phoebe.
I thought it was sweet though. I thought it was sweet.
Because I just didn't, it just, I felt like it was the right time, but I also felt like a little kid. Like I was
Yeah.
just like a little kid and I was all giddy and then my heart was just palpitating and the butterflies was in my stomach and my eyes was welling up because I was just thinking about how all of a sudden, I don't know, it was just in the middle of the night and well, it wasn't in the middle of the night. It was actually
In the
really
morning.
early in the morning because he gets up before the roosters get up. Um, and it just like I don't know if I had a dream because I can't remember what it was that just brought all of that emotion on. But I just woke up and I just felt the need to say to him that I loved him.
And I bust in the room just smiling.
I know you.
I didn't make her feel bad sending the text.
That was kind of tacky, but
It was very sweet and childlike. It is what it is. Very nice. Very sweet. Very sweet. Well, since we're doing that, I'm gonna go ask my question. So, which one of you has the higher sex drive?
Depends on the day.
Good answer.
Yeah, depends on the day. Sometimes she be all over me. I don't be just like, hey.
That's true.
And then sometimes so it depends on the day.
I like that. That's even keel right there. Very cool. Very cool. Y'all, thank you. Thank you so much. I am definitely sharing this story again. It's rare, honestly, that we have a man that's extremely transparent about what's going on in his life and what he's been through. So thank you so much for sharing, y'all. I appreciate you and enjoy. You can go back to watching your basketball now, Mr. Jimmy. Thank you. Y'all have a great night.
You too.
All right, you too.
Guys, that, as usual, was a very refreshing conversation. I love to hear men, women discuss and be transparent about their emotions and the trials and tribulations that they went through, and addressing the fact that when you're getting in a relationship that you need to take some time to get yourself together before you involve someone else's heart. And that's one of the things that we typically either are afraid to do or too selfish to do. And then you find yourself years later in a snowball effect, wondering how you got there. So I'm hoping that everybody listened, and I hope that you take the time to continue to self-reflect, continue to do what you need to do to make yourself a better person, because they are true proof that there are things happening behind the scenes. Whoever it is that you may be waiting for or not waiting for, if they are for you, they are preparing themselves. They are purging themselves. They are healing. So be patient. There's no need to rush. As long as you get up with breath in your body, there is always time. So make time right now to love on yourself. Have a wonderful Tuesday. Peace, love, and transparency. I'll see you again soon.